Hello everyone, my name is Vikas Bansal and in this video I will show you a demo of the retail mode of the user interface. Before I start the demo, I want to show you the business process that I will cover in this demo. So a cashier in the retail store, he will first do time recording to record the time when he has come in the store. This step is however optional. Then because he is starting the day, he will bring some money from the bank to the cash box. This process we call it as cash in. After that, he continuously will keep on making sales, sales and sales. In between, he might go to the cashing up screen and he would like to see the balances so that he knows how much money he has in the box for different kind of currencies. In between, he might withdraw some money from the box to pay for some stationery or petrol or electricity bill. When he is done with his day, he will start the day end closing process. In this, he will count the money. Maybe he finds some difference or maybe everything is matching for him. He does the day end closing and then he will do time recording so that he can check out to say that he has finished his shift. Now this process, we will see it in customer checkout in the retail mode of the user interface. So this is the retail mode of the user interface of SAP Customer Checkout. The first thing that the cashier does is he goes to the time recording tile and now he will do time recording. So he enters his username, password. The system tells him that he is about to punch in. He can select from where is he recording his time. In this case, I select now Frankfurt and I confirm. So the cashier has now recorded his time. The next thing that he does is he will go to the cash in tile. This is the process where he brings some money from the bank to the box. So he will enter that he is putting in 500 euro and the reason start of the day. Click on OK. And now this transaction will be posted to SAP Business One as incoming or outgoing payment based on how you have configured your general ledger account. Now the cashier goes to the sales screen and he starts making sales. So he will first select a customer. Then he will select a few articles. And to keep it simple, I will make this payment in cash. So I select that the customer paid 200 euro and I will click on OK to finish the transaction. The system tells me to return 79 cents to the customer. Now I will switch to SAP Customer Checkout Manager to show you that this transaction is posted in the SAP Customer Checkout Manager, and then I will also show you the same transaction in SAP Business One. Customer Checkout Manager, I will go in the receipt tile and here I will go in details of the first transaction which was just posted by me. And here then I can see what are the two sales items that I have sold, what was the tax on the sales item, how the payment was made, and all other details of this transaction. Now I will go to SAP Business One. In SAP Business One, for the receipt that you create in SAP Customer Checkout, we create an AR invoice. So I go to the last AR invoice which is created, and here I can see that for the post transaction which is selected here, an AR invoice was created in SAP Business One and it is closed. Here you can see the different sales item that is there, and when I go to the relationship map, I can see that for this AR invoice an incoming payment was created. When I look in the details of the incoming payment, I can see that this was paid in cash. So this shows you that every transaction that you create in SAP Customer Checkout is transferred to SAP Business One. Now to continue, instead of this time selecting the article, I will use the touch screen to add some more articles in the sales screen. And instead of paying with cash, I will use a different payment means now, which is card. And here I select that I will pay this amount with American Express card. I click on OK, and in the same way this transaction will also be posted to SAP Business One. So this will go on, and the cashier will keep on making sales again and again. Now I will show you some of the more advanced functionality that SAP Customer Checkout offers. So here you can select the customer, you can select the article, you can change the quantity of the article. I make the quantity 5 here. You can change the unit price, and you can also give discount. So let's say I give here 50% discount. Everything is okay. I again now select a different article, and this time for this article, which also I make it as €100, I try to give 90% discount. And you see the system warns me that I cannot, with my authorization, I am not allowed to give 90% discount. So this can be configured, because in the last item I was able to give 50% discount. So you can configure how much discount can a manager or a cashier give, and it says that only a super user can give this discount. So now I will provide the credentials of the super user or the user who has this permission, and now I was able to give 90% discount. In the same way, I can also give here header discount, or I can select a sales person for this entire transaction, or if I want, I can assign salesperson at for a specific item. I can also change the default text code, I can change the default stock location and all that. Also, I can pay with multiple currencies. So instead of euro, I have here also configured CHF. So you can see that the system tells me that if I want, I can pay with a different currency as well. I can also mix different currencies or different payment means, like some amount I pay with cash and some amount I pay with card. It is also possible to not pay now and use payment on credit. And when you use payment on credit, you also have to select a payment term. Okay, the last payment means that we support is voucher, and this is the payment means that I will use in this sales transaction. So in reality, you will scan a voucher ID, but I do not have a scanner, so I will now select a voucher, and the system checks with SAP Customer Checkout Manager if this voucher ID is valid and if the amount open on this voucher is valid. In this case, the system found out that everything is okay, so it allows me to use this voucher for payment. So I will click on OK, and I will also finish this transaction. So in between, if the cashier or the manager wants to know what is going on, then he can go in the cashing up transaction. In the cashing up transaction, he can see a very brief summary, or you can call it as reporting of what has happened so far. And you can see that there is a cash amount of 199.21 euro that has been made in sales. Also, there is some amount that is paid with American Express in euro, and there is some amount which has been paid with voucher. And if the manager wants, then he can also make a print of this report so that he can use it for later, or he can give it to, let's say, the owner of the store. In between, if you want to take some money out from the box, then you can use the cash out transaction or payout transaction. In this case, I will select now payout. I will select a reason why I am doing a payout. So I select here that I do a payout to buy some stationery for the store. I will select here 50 euro and enter here a reason to buy stationery for the store. I click on OK and this transaction will also be posted to SAP Business One. So now let's look what else can you do from the sales screen. Let's say a new customer walks into the store and you want to create this customer in the system. So you can click here on this new button and now you can enter the details of the customer that you want to create. So now I enter Vikas Bansal, that's myself, and I will create this customer in the system. I click on save. Now this makes a synchronous call to SAP Business One and it will create a customer in the SAP Business One system, and this is the ID of the customer from SAP Business One system. In the same way, just like the way you created a customer, it is possible that you want to see the stock of a particular item. So you select that item in the search and then click on stock overview. When you click on stock overview, it shows you the stock information of this article in the different warehouse of SAP Business One. Okay, some more advanced functionality. Let's say this customer walks in and he wants to return some goods. So you can just select this article and change the quantity from +1 to -1. The system understands this is a return, and in case of a return you can select why does the customer wants to return this good, and now in this case I will select that the customer has changed his mind, and you can also select the stock location where this goods should be kept. So I leave it at stock location 01 and I can click on done, and the system can tell you that you have to return this amount of money. Okay, now let's look at how do we deal with special prices. So first I select this customer and I select an article, and you can see that for this customer the price of this article is 128 euros and 52 cents. I will now change the customer from C20,000 to C40,000, and you can see here that the price has changed from 128 euro something to just 47 euro something. And when I click here on the details, I can also see here that this is a customer special price. So this information was fetched from SAP Business One into Customer Checkout, and Customer Checkout then applies the same pricing as SAP Business One will apply. I will post this transaction. Now for another customer C60,000, I have maintained that this customer should get 25% discount in SAP Business One. The same information is fetched in SAP Customer Checkout, and when I sell him this article, you can see here there is a 25% discount applied for this article, and also in the pricing I can see this information that he gets a customer specific discount. I will select now another article, and you can see the same, that still a 25% discount is also applied on the second article. I will also finish this transaction. Okay, let's say you have a customer C20,000 and there are open AR invoices for this customer in your SAP Business One, and the customer walks into the store and he wants to pay for this invoice. So you can click on this position 1. It opens this dialog where you can select out of various possibilities. I will select here now payment for invoice, and I will do search invoice. This makes a synchronous call to SAP Business One and shows you all the open invoice for this customer. So I will now select one of this invoice, and I can say that for this invoice the customer now wants to pay 100 euro, and click on OK. The customer paid exact amount, transaction finished. Or it can be that there are open sales order for this customer and you want to continue the process in Customer Checkout by fetching the sales order. Same process, I select the customer, I click on position 1. This time I will select sales order. I click on search sales order and I can see a list of all sales order which are open in business 1 for this customer. I will now select the sales order and I can continue my process here. For example, I can now take payment for this sales order and finish the transaction. Or it can be that for a customer, he buys a lot of quantity, let's say in this case 100 quantity, and I want to take with me only one of them and the rest you deliver it to me at home. So then you can select here reserve invoice, and as soon as you select here reserve invoice, there is a new icon here with this truck symbol. Here you can select what is the quantity that you want to deliver him right now. So I will select here 1, which means that the customer wants to take one quantity with him and the rest 99 quantity he wants this to be delivered to some specific address. This delivery of the 99 quantity has to take place in SAP Business One. So I will click on OK and OK. The customer paid the exact amount. So now this will create an AR reserve invoice in business 1 and a delivery for quantity 1 and an incoming payment for the amount that the customer has paid. Okay, so I think I showed you a lot of things that SAP Customer Checkout supports with respect to SAP Business One. And now let's assume that the day is getting over. The cashier wants to count his money and wants to go home. So here you can see all the cash in, cash out, pay in, payout you have done. And in our case, a cash in for 500 euro was made at the start of the day, and in between a payout for 50 euro was made to buy the stationaries, and all this information you see in this screen. In the next screen, now you will count your money. You will count how much money is there in the box. So first here you can see that you can count for the currency CHF because you have enabled that you support multiple currency. In the next step, then you will count the money for euro. Now in this step, you will enter the amount of money that you have. So I made some quick notes and I know that I should have some 13,760. So I counted this money and in this case it is 13,760. I check in my terminal that there was an American Express payment for 71 euro and 40. And I check in my system that there is a voucher of 260. I go to the next step. The system tells me that for voucher, the amount is correct. For American Express also the amount is correct. However, for cash, the amount is not correct. I counted 13,760. The system expected 13,768.39. That means I am falling short of some money. In reality, this can also happen and our system allows you to proceed. It shows you in this last screen that there is a cash balancing or cash adjustment of an 8 euro and 39 cents. This cash balancing will also be posted to SAP Business One so that you can track end-to-end everything. And now here you can decide how much money you want to leave in the box for the next day. And I decide that I will leave 100 euro in the box for the next day. And I can enter here left over from last day and click on OK. The system tells me that I should take out 13,660 euro from the box. When I click on OK, it logs me out. So now that everything is complete, the last step that the cashier can do is that he can go to time recording and he can enter that he has finished his day. The system tells him that he logged in at this point in time and he is logging out at this point in time, and confirm and he is now finished. Now, this was a quick overview of the sales process. The last thing that I want to show you is SAP Customer Checkout Manager. In the SAP Customer Checkout Manager, I want to show you a very powerful app which is called Sales Summary. When I go in the Sales Summary, I can see that there is a sales summary which is posted from this point of sale where the cashier was doing all the sales. I can see here that there is a status consistent, which means everything is okay. All the transactions that were done from customer checkout were successfully posted to customer checkout manager. Just below, you can see that there is also a status deviation, which means something is wrong. Some transactions have not reached customer checkout manager, but in this case, everything is okay. I go in the details. I can see here how many sales transactions were there. So in this case, 9 sales transactions, and how many total transactions were there, which means transactions including cash in, cash out, pay in, pay out, everything. And in total, there were 14 transactions. I go to the next tab here called receipts. Then I can see all the sales transactions that were done. For example, if I go in this transaction, I can see that this was the first transaction I created with these 2 sales item. So I will now go back and I will go to the next tab, which is cash transactions. Here you can see all the cash in, cash out, cash balancing that were created. Then I go again to the next tab, currency details. In the currency details, I will select euro because I only counted money in euro. And here I can see, for example, for cash, I counted 13,760. For voucher, I counted 260. And for cards, for this card, which is American Express, I counted 71 euro and 40 cents. So you see, sales summary is a transaction which brings together everything. So you can see what was sold, what were the cash transactions, what did the cashier enter in the sales in the day and closing process. So this transaction sales summary brings together everything. So what I now showed you was a quick overview of the retail process that SAP Customer Checkout supports, and as you see in the screen, this is the process that we have covered. I hope you liked the demo. Thank you so much.